To start modeling in FreeCAD, select File and New, or just click this button and choose Part Design Workbench from this menu. We start with sketching a rectangle, and to create a sketch, click Create a New Sketch button. In the next step, we have to select the plane, select XY plane and click OK. Note that for sketching time we switched to the Sketcher module, and now let's draw a rectangle, and to draw a rectangle select Create a Rectangle in a Sketch button. OK, draw any rectangle. OK, the rectangle drawing command is still active. By clicking the right mouse button in the work area, we turn off the active command and we can proceed further. If we rotate the sketch and it is not visible from the top, we can select Set to Top View to back this view. And if we leave sketch mode but we would like to edit a sketch, from this model tab we can expand the body and select sketch, clicking right mouse button and selecting edit sketch. We can go back to sketch module. OK, this information may come in handy as soon as we start working with FreeCAD and the drawing will run away somewhere or turn around. After creating the first solid, we will discuss some navigation methods, some basics, how to rotate, how to zoom. But let's back to our drawing, and we have a sketch, but it is not oriented to the origin of the coordinate system and it is not dimensioned. At the beginning we set the sketch symmetrically to the XY axis. With the Ctrl key pressed, select two vertices and the axis and select Symmetry Constraint. OK. Repeat this for these vertices and x-axis, and again. OK. Now we can dimension the rectangle. Dimensioning in FreeCAD works so that first we can choose the feature or distance that we want to dimension, and then the type of dimension, or first the type of dimension and then we indicate what we want to dimension. OK, choose the horizontal distance and select the upper side of the rectangle. OK, type in here 300 and click OK. Next, select the vertical distance, select this edge and type in here 200. OK, we have a rectangle drawn with dimension 300 by 200, the center of which is at the beginning of the coordinate system, and we can finish sketching. Select Close button and our sketch is finished. We use this rectangle to create a solid. However, there are a few things that can help us navigate. Our sketch is not visible in work area. We can use the mouse wheel to zoom in or zoom out, but this will not give us confidence that we will find the sketch. An easier way is to use the button Fit the whole content of the screen. OK. But the geometries are shown in rather strange position, and it would be much more convenient to work if we were looking at the 2 geometry in the top view. There is an easy way to do this. Just select the option Set to Top View. Okay. To add the sketch extrude, we must remember to be in the Part Design workbench. For example, when we closed FreeCAD and reopen the file, the workbench could switch to Start. Okay, as we are already in the Part Design workbench, to create a solid, select the Path as Selected Sketch option. Okay, this is the first way. Another way is to select the geometry, and from the Task tab we can select Path option. Okay, I switch to this view, and here we can specify path parameters. Type in here 30 mm and click OK. If, however, we typed something wrong and it would be necessary to edit the path operation, then in the Model tab, select the path operation, right-click on path operation and select Edit Path option. And now you can edit the path parameters. Okay. In this way, we already know how to add a path operation and how to edit it. We already have the first solid model in FreeCAD. For now, it is a rectangular prism, and on its basis I will talk about navigation in FreeCAD. The first thing is that we can choose one of the navigation styles. By right-clicking in the work area, a menu with navigation styles will appear, and the Blender style suits me the most, and I will present this style. Select the Blender style, and by scrolling we can zoom in and zoom out the model. By pressing the roll or the middle mouse button, we can rotate the model. With the middle mouse button held and holding down the Shift key, you can move the model. Okay, these views will also help. We can switching the views by clicking this button. Okay, or you can select the standard views from the view menu, and here we have the same options. Okay. I think that for the beginning this information is enough and we can go further. Now I will show you how to make a pocket and how to add geometry on a model that will be used to make a pocket. At the beginning we must create a new sketch. Select this face and select Create New Sketch button. Okay, let's draw any rectangle. Okay. We assume that we want the pocket to be offset from each side of the rectangle by 25 mm. At this point, the pocket can only be dimensioned relative to the axis of coordinate system. We know the dimensions of the rectangular prism, so it would be easy to dimension the pocket properly. However, there is an opportunity to show the next function. This is create an edge linked to an external geometry. After selecting this, we can indicate the edges that we will use as reference in the current sketch. And now we can dimension in relation to the points from new lines. Okay, let's add dimensions. First, let's add 25 mm here. Okay, and here. Okay, now we can close the sketch and we can select create a pocket with the selected sketch. Okay, and here we can specify the pocket parameters, type in here 10 mm and accept this by clicking OK button. Now we will make holes in our model, add a new sketch in top face, create a new sketch, and let's draw 4 holes in the corners of the model. To properly orient the holes, we could dimension each hole relative to the origin of coordinate system, but there is a faster way and opportunity to get to know new functions. Holes lying along the long edge of this rectangle we can align with each other using the horizontal constraint so that they lie on the same line. With Ctrl key pressed, select these 2 points and select create a horizontal constraint on the selected item. OK, repeat this for these 2 points. OK, and for holes along the short sides of the rectangle we can use the vertical constraint option. Again, select these 2 points with Ctrl key and select create a vertical constraint on the selected item and repeat this for these 2 points. OK, the holes are already partially oriented with respect to each other, and now we have to dimension them relative to the edges of the model. Use create an edge linked to an external geometry option to convert these 2 edges. OK, and now let's add dimensions so that the hole centers are offset 12 mm from the edge. OK. OK, and let's use this option. Fix the radius of a circle or an arc. To dimension the radius of circle, type in here 4.5 mm and click OK. We have only one circle dimension, and what about the others? With the Ctrl key, select 4 circles and then use the option create an equality constraint between 2 lines or between circles and arcs. OK. Our sketch is complete now, so we can close the sketch, and now we can add holes in the model based on the sketch. Use the create a pocket with the selected sketch option, and in pocket parameters, for the type option, select through all and click OK. And we have holes in model, and now let's add new holes. So let's add new sketch. OK. We draw circles with a diameter of 15 mm, with the centers of which will as the same place as in the centers circles with a diameter of 9 mm. So the option create an edge linked to an external geometry will be useful, and this option allows us to convert the 4 previous circles as a reference geometry. Okay, and now we can use this point to draw another circles. Okay. Okay, using this way the drawing in the next 4 holes was easier. And now let's dimension one circle. As radius, type in here 7.5 millimeters. Okay, and with Ctrl key select all circles and use equality constraint. Okay, our sketch is ready, so we can close it, and again select create a pocket with the selected sketch option, and here type 8 millimeters and click OK. This is one of the ways to make these types of holes, and now we will discuss another way. In FreeCAD we have something like hole wizard or hole creator. This is this option. Create a hole with the selected sketch, and now we will add same holes using this option. But before we add holes using this option, we have to remove or hide the holes that we added previously. And to remove the holes, go to the Model tab and select these two operations with Ctrl key and press delete key, and by clicking yes, you accept deleting these holes. But for now click no, and there is also a way to leave these holes. We can hide this operation and move to the moment before these holes were added. To do this, click right mouse button on the operation in front of the holes and select the option Set Tip. OK, this will suppress all operations below that indicated. OK, to use the create hole with the selected sketch, as the name suggests, we need a sketch. The easiest way is to add 4 points offset 12 mm from edges, but the points themselves are not enough, but about that in a moment. Let's add a new sketch. OK, add 4 points. OK, let's add some constraints. Horizontal for these points and vertical for this and these points. OK, now let's use symmetry constraint. OK, and again. OK, and before we move to dimensioning, we still need to convert some edge of the rectangle to the sketch. Let's use this option and convert this edge. OK, and now we can add dimensions, and this dimension and this one is enough. Okay, the points themselves are not enough to automatically create holes, but we will use them as circle centers, and now let's draw 4 circles using these points as circle centers. Okay. Okay, close the sketch and select create a hole with the selected sketch option. Okay, and here we can set the hole parameters. As profile, select none. Here select through all, and here type in 9 mm. Hole cut section as type, select counterbore, diameter 15 and depth 8 mm, and click OK. And we get the holes same as previous, but this way is faster. With this option, with Hole Wizard, we can also add threaded holes. We have to choose appropriate option from the profile parameter and set another parameters. The most important is size, when we set the size of thread, and depth of hole we can set through all, or we can specify the depth of hole. This part of this course was mainly intended to show that there is such a thing in FreeCAD and how to start with it. And now let's add some fillets and chamfers. First we add fillets for these edges. We have to select for these edges with Ctrl key pressed. Okay. Okay, and now let's select make a fillet on an edge face or body. Okay, and here type 20 mm and click OK. Now let's add fillets for the top and bottom edges of pocket. In order to easily indicate the edges, we can switch to wireframe view. Okay, and now we can easily select these edges. Okay. And again select fillet option and type in here 4 mm and click OK. Let's back to as is view and we get fillets. Now we add some chamfers. Set the wireframe view and select these 4 edges. Select chamfer the selected edges of shape and type in here 5 mm. OK. And now select these edges and this. Select chamfer option and here type 1 mm and click OK. Back to as is view and our model is ready. We went through the basics issues related to the modeling of simple parts, and the options you learned should already allow you to create simple models yourself. Now I will show you how to export it to step format so that it can be opened in other systems, for example in AlphaCam. In the Model tab, select the last operation. Then from the File menu, select Export option. In the window that appears, specify the name of the file and select the type of files to which you want to export. I suggest step with colors format and click Save. Now this file can be opened in another system that supports step file.